Namaste and welcome to Nepal's Top 7 Debaters 2012, produced by Today's Youth Asia. This is the first competition round of grades 7, 8 and 9. 13 contestants have been selected out of the audition rounds of this category. I'd like to introduce our panel of judges, Mr. Santosh Shah. He is the anchor and producer of the popular TV show Power Talks. He's also the world record holder as the youngest anchor of an English political talk show. Our next judge is Mr. Thendup Sherpa. He's the general manager at Falcon International Private Limited and is also a senior radio host and a program producer. Our next judge is Ms. Shrishti Raj Bhandari. She has completed her master's in international journalism from the UK. She's currently working with BBC Media Action as a senior broadcast assistant for the radio drama Katha Mito Sarangi Ko. We now begin with the first competition round of grades 7, 8 and 9 category. The topic is Zoo is a good concept for seeing wild animals. Let us invite the first debater, Amisha Saran. She'll be speaking for the motion.
Zoo is not a new concept. It has been entertaining people since 1250 BC. Zoo is designed around the concept of tending, controlling and housing animals. It gives us a privilege to view and observe animals. Zoo also create a great learning experience for people of all ages. Now, I want to argue about my friends who are going to speak further. They will say that zoo is cruel because they lock up animals. So I want to clear them that there are many zoos who does not lock up animals. And these zoos are called safaris. So I also want to give an example. We will go to our local zoo for animal gazing. We'll not go to our wildlife sanctuaries or jungles or forests for animal gazing. So I think zoo is a good concept for seeing wild animals. Thank you.
Mr. Very good. A very balanced approach. Good luck.
Points were very good, and I hope you continue with that.
Yeah, Misha, it was very interesting.
Thank you. To present his views against the motion, we have Bedhanga Ram Bhandari.
Namaste. In my opinion, zoo is an absolutely bad concept for seeing wild animals. Wild. What does the word mean? Wild means extreme behaviors. These kind of animals are not fit to be kept in zoo. A zoo bounds the animals and does not let them express their feelings. Because of zoos, animals cannot show their nature. Zoo is a man-made habitat for animals for our interest to see them. Is that good? Come on, we are talking about their lives. Just for fun, we cannot harm their lives. We have other places too, like national parks, wildlife reserves, etc. By saying this, I think I have made myself clear that zoo are not good. Thank you.
Vedang, very good. It does look like you have made your point very clear.
Overall, it was very good, but remember, you should not exaggerate, okay? Some points were exaggerated.
Yeah, I really loved your presentation and you were very expressive. Good luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now I'd like to call on stage Chandan Thakur. He'll be speaking for the motion.
Zoo is a wonderful thing, a space where all the animals from different places are kept. They are safe there. Do you know that wild animals are not safe in their natural home? The forest, the jungle, they are not safe there. So they are kept in a secure place, zoo. As my opponent said that the wild life should be kept wild and we should not make fun of them. We have no right to do that. But if they are kept wild, what about us? Where should we go? This planet is for both wild and humans. There should be a limitation between both of them. If the wild are kept really wild and they can do whatever they want, then what about us? I don't think humans will be there. If we don't make fun of them, then they will make fun of us if there's no zoo. For example, besides the entertainment category, for educational purpose, zoo is very useful. For example, in my school, you can say the youngsters of 4th grader and 5th grader, they are headed for the excursion to the zoo to learn something about animal, to remove the boundary between wildlife and human beings, to get interest for the wildlife. And recently, in the context of Nepal, you can see that near the border of India and Nepal, a few group of elephants crossed some houses and few lives were killed. But there was a unmanaged wild reserve was there. But what would happen if there would be a minimized zoo, small zoo there? this condition won't be there. Thank you.
Chandan, you went too long, more than the time given to you, and still you couldn't prove your points. You said certain things that could be contradicted, like zoo is a safe place and wild is not. I mean, that's their living place. Don't mention things that can be contradicted very easily. I mean, that's the reason why I didn't even leave it to your next debater to come and cut it out. You had a lot of content missing. Like, there was not anything strong in your argument. Even last time in the audition, we selected you for your stage presence. Even back then, you lacked a clear confidence. You're very unsure about which side you were talking, if you remember. So, having taken you into the competition round based on a lot of weaknesses that you already had, when you're given a chance, you have to live up to the expectations. And I'm not that impressed today.
At the beginning, you were very low energy. And the middle, suddenly you went backwards and your hands started moving and you were very high energy. I think you should do that from the beginning. That gives them much more, even when you're speaking, your energy level is high. But at the beginning, you were like stooping down the podium and, you were talking very quietly. And then when you started giving your points, you were like really energetic. Try and have that energy level in a high level.
Yeah, Chandan, it was good. I mean, I did like your presentation, but maybe you should really work more on your content. So as while we're listening, it's not very confusing. Otherwise, it was interesting. Thank you.
Let us invite Dilasha Bhusal to stage. She'll be speaking against the motion.
Talking about the topic, I want to say that animals are the gift of the nature and they are good at their own habitat. And I think that animals in the zoo are unable to make their moral choices and enter in the social contract too. And taking the example of ours, if we are told to live in a room for a whole day, even for an hour also, we can't. But taking in the same condition of animal, living in a cage inside a boundary for the entire life, is it possible? I don't think so, as this leads them to lose their natural habits too, and they are not linked with their animal rights too. And talking about my opponent friend, that they said that it will help to research, but inside a boundary, does it will help to research? And the main thing is they are losing their natural habits. It is a good impact or bad impact. We can think ourselves. So they are losing their natural habits too, and they are not linked with the animal rights. So with this, I'd like to say that zoo is not the good concept, and animals should have the freedom. Thank you.
Dilasha, it was really good, and I really liked your expression, and you had a really good content. Good luck.
Thank you.
To present the views for the motion, we have Polishma Yadav.
Namaste. Zoo itself means a place where world's most incredible species are all gathered just for our viewing pleasure. Then why shouldn't we take zoo as a good concept of seeing animal? When we travel, when we visit the zoo, we feel that it's a great recreational spot for us. We feel that it gives a visual experience, and we also feel that zoo features all fun and unique attraction. Then why shouldn't we take zoo as a good concept of seeing animal? We also know that zoo preserves endangered animals, or we can simply say endangered animals would otherwise extinct without the help of zoo. And also the help of establishment of zoo, we cannot find any wild tiger running wild in the streets of our country, isn't it? And my friends are talking about animal rights, but sorry to laugh at them, but it seems really humorous to talk about animal right wearing your leather shoes and saying that I love non-ways and talking about animals right. I'm so sorry, friends, but I must say that it's better to not get education from a teacher who himself is a smoker or who himself is unmanaged. Friends, if you are still thinking that zoo is unmanaged place, unsafe place for animals, then let me say that today zoo have much more Today zoo have much more evolved and they are much more sophisticated than it was before. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.
Policeman, do you remember what I had told you last time?
Yeah.
What?
I'm a natural speaker, but
You got it there. At the same time, you cannot be a longer speaker beyond your time. You have to keep it under the time limit. I like the fact that you mentioned endangered animals being safe in the zoos. That's a very good point. Very good. Very impressed.
Okay, as Santosh sir said, a lot of good points to support your topic. But I had one slight problems when you're debating. You shouldn't look down on your other friends because we're saying laugh. Don't say laugh. Maybe I would like to say my opinion. Other people are not correct. Don't use the word laugh. Okay, it doesn't look so nice. Okay.
Polishma, yes, like Santosh and everyone agreed, you are a natural speaker. Good luck.
Now I'd like to call on stage Krishma Manandar. She'll be speaking against the motion.
We all like to live with freedom, and so do the animals. Don't you think so? But zoo is a place where animals are kept or captured without letting them to live their life properly. It's like violating the animal rights or not letting them live freely. For an example, we can take an example of being a man locked beyond bars, forbidden to move forward and discover his life. As my friend, opponent and previous friend told, that all the peoples are wearing leather shoes and are telling that they love non-veg. She must also think that not all people are non-veg here and all love doing that. So animals must not be kept in zoos, and we cannot go against their right, and we must let them live freely and in their own habitat too. And if it is for observing their wildlife, then there are other options like wildlife reserves, national parks and conservation areas where they are protected and inside a boundary. They are protected there. So I would like to conclude. Thank you.
Okay, I really liked your point, okay, about the non-veg and all, but then you were not able to, really punch it in, You had a good point to argue, but you could not really argue, okay? Next time, please, a little more.
It was good, you have good presentation, you can speak as well, but maybe Tendip said, you really have to work and push on make your arguments more stronger. Thank you, good luck.
You did great in the audition round, and today I would say compared to that, it was kind of disappointing. Yeah, it looks like you're lacking concentration on the stage. Your head is going in many directions. Is that true? Yes. You started very well. You got derailed in between, and you picked up later on. You have a great stage presence, and you can debate very well. You have that potential, but somehow today, it was here and there with everything. Good luck for that. Let's see what happens.
We now have Prasiddha Rajguru. He'll be speaking for the motion.
Just imagine if there were no zoos. Would you have been able to see a real tiger or a lion or a leopard? Maybe not. We would just see them in a television or in a magazine. Zoos are the place where animals are kept freely and are let to stay there on their own will. Even if sometimes we let animals to go around outside the zoo, like elephants are let in our own Kathmandu zoo. They are let to roam here and there because they are friendly animals. After that, one of my competitors said that animals should be left freely. But what about us, the people who are cruel? They will kill those animals. It is better to keep them in a zoo than to keep them outside and let them die. Zoo brings sparkle in the eyes of everybody, especially young children. They have fun watching those animals. After that, zoos also help in the preservation and protection of those animals. So I would like to end my topic here and feel grateful to those who started the concept of zoos. Thank you.
Prasiddha, you have done better than last time, but still a lot to improve. You still have to gain on the confidence and eye contact. Please do not mention things that are easily contradicting, things like on their own will. I mean, animals are not there on their own will, and then you can only see them on the TV and magazine. I mean, they're still wildlife and all, which is like obvious thing. And gain on the confidence part. You did very well today.
I think the judges are here and the audience are up there. They're not down there. Okay, so next time, please remember your eye contact, because I was saying, where is he talking? Okay.
Sir, actually, I have some eye problem due to the light.
But still, you can't give excuses. Okay, you can keep that on mind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have same opinion as them. You really need to look at the audience so that they can see you, and you can grab. I mean, you had good content and all, but if you don't look at the listeners, the audiences, then they lose interest. So I was trying to look where you were looking at, and usually I was looking down, So good luck.
Thank you.
We now have Namrata Dewan, and she'll be speaking against the motion.
God loved birds and invented trees. Man loved birds and invented cages. From this proverb, we can clearly know that how a man is inhuman. For if anything is favorite, if he likes something, then he wants to put that thing into the cage. That's cruel and rude towards those beautiful creatures The next thing, when animals are kept in the zoo, they don't only lose their freedom, but they also suffer from they also suffer from stress, and that is displayed by the abnormal and self-destructive natures of those animals. My opponent friends said that zoo is a place where endangered animals are protected. Then what is a sanctuary for? Is it kept for just looking those animals? It is a place where animals are protected. So thank you.
You were very clear and loud, so like that was very interesting. But like, if one thing is like, if the time is finished, like don't just finish abruptly. At least complete your sentence. And yeah, good luck.
Okay, Namrata, overall presentation, everything was good, but then just one advice, please, everybody makes mistakes. So if you make a mistake while saying your speech or your debate, don't end it there, continue, okay? Because in one part you just stopped and you started a new sentence, okay? Please keep that in mind because we tend to lose interest, okay?
Namrata, you started confidently and then you got nervous. It rarely happens that you're confident in the beginning and you get nervous in the between. Did that happen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Stick to your, you have a grip over your argument, your content. Stick to that, and you're a good debater. You did very well.
We now have Saluja Siwakoti. She'll be speaking for the motion.
What comes to our mind when we first talk about zoos? An animal inside cages and people just snapping pictures. That's the entire thing that we picture in our mind when we talk about zoos. Well, a zoo can not only, like, it's not that a zoo is always like that. A zoo can also be a place for animals, animals are preserved. Their health is concerned, they are immunized in a zoo. And besides that, the animals that are at the verge of extinctions, they are also protected in a zoo. Such animals where, those animals where, which our grandchildren may never be, they might even not get the opportunity to see them. There might come a day when, we leave animals in the wild, and there might come a day when animals, and people will ask, oh, there used to be a tiger, can I see its photo? So it's not like that. And 710 acres of land is covered by Toronto Zoo of Canada. 6.5 acres of land is separated for gorillas in the Bronx Zoo of New York. So zoos can also cover wide areas and protect animals and give them everything that they need. Food, they do not have to worry about their prey, and they are also protected in zoos. So zoos can be a good place only if we humans can maintain it well. Thank you.
So Liza, very good presentation today. You went slightly longer. And, when you have facts and arguments, do present it in the very beginning, because you may not have the time to do so later on, which is exactly what happened today. You started well, but you got kind of mixed up in between, right? You got fumble, you got three of your points crossing each other at the same time. And when you have less time, you prepare with very less contents, because then you have a flow in your content. But much better from last time, much better.
Really overall loved it, but then at the beginning I think you would have given a better punch if you, instead of saying if you had said my opponent said that zoos are just cages, that would have given a better punch than saying I. Okay? So please keep that in mind, because you already had 4 people speaking against. So you could have said my opponent. Okay? Otherwise it was good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your presentation. It was good and clear. Yeah, and one thing was in the starting, when you said I, and you said animals are kept in the zoo, I found it quite contradicting, because you were actually speaking for. So in the beginning I was quite confused, but overall it was very good presentation. I enjoyed the content.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to call on stage Prakriti Bashal. She'll be speaking against the motion.
I guess all of my friends has went around the zoo and have seen all wild creatures there. But have you ever recognized their eyes? Their side eyes, saying that they are struggling so much in the zoo. Even recently my friend said that the animals in the zoo are immunized. But do you know that some zoo use tranquilizers to control the wild behaviors of zoo? So how can you say that they are only immunized? They are threatened in the zoo. Even no matters how many branches are there in the zoo, and no matters how beautiful the zoo is, and no matter how big the zoo is, but it can never be better than their natural habitat, the jungle. So I can only say that the zoo is a good concept for the wild creatures. So through which we can do is not a good concept for wild creatures. Thank you.
To the point, straightforward, fluent, very good.
Thank you.
I think you made a mistake, right? Instead of saying not, you said it is. Okay, so be careful what you're saying, okay? Because the content is very important, because you're talking against, if you say the zoo is good, then you're going against what you're saying. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Otherwise, it's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, overall, very good presentation, Prakriti. It was really good. Good luck.
Thank you.
Now we have Shika Shrestha. She'll be speaking for the motion.
I think all of the people in this room has been to a zoo once in a while and had a fun time doing so. In my opinion, children and as well as adults should see wild animals to know more about them. And as other participants have stated about animal rights, I would also like to say that they say about these things after looking at the zoo of Nepal. But take a closer look, everybody. Look at zoos all around the world. Zoos all around the world have open, free, wide spaces for animals to move around happily. And I like to state that the real problem is not keeping animals in zoos, it is how they are treated in these zoos. Also, zoos aren't only there for the display of these animals, they're also there for breeding of rare and almost extinct animals, and that is a good thing. Also, in zoos, animals are studied so that we can know more about them. We wouldn't like it if we had to go to forest just to look at a couple of wild animals, would we? Thank you.
So you got very nervous? Yes. Again? The same thing again. You have great contents, beautifully written, right? But too nervous, and you're having hesitancy in delivering them with a lot of confidence. Work hard. Keep working hard. You're improving.
You have a beautiful way of presenting, but that smooth flow was not there, because I could see from his stand holding the podium, then letting it go, looking around, very conscious about, you should be conscious about what you're saying. Okay, so please keep that in mind.
Yeah, I agree with Santosh and Tendup. I mean, it was beautifully written. It was interesting to listen, but you're getting very nervous. So you should have more confidence in yourself and deliver it very well. Good luck.
Now we have Samiksha Bhattrai. She'll be speaking against the motion.
First of all, I'd like to ask all of you a question. How would you feel if you were kept inside a room and other people come to you? I don't think no one of us would feel good. Then how can we think that those animals feel good? I think zoo badly hampers the privacy of animals. Besides this, one of my components said that zoo provide conservations for animals. According to one research, an elephant who can survive 50 to 70 years in its own habitat can survive only 20 years in a zoo. Then how can it be a preservation of animals? Besides this, animals like giraffes and zebras are designed to walk miles in a day. But if they are kept inside a closure, then how can they they walk miles in a day? Besides this, if animals are kept in a zoo or in a bars, then how can we know about their habits? I think it's not a good place for seeing animals. Besides this, one of my friends said that if the animals are kept in wild, then they may hamper our lives. Then before building zoos, were all human beings dead. So I think zoo is not a good concept for seeing animals. Thank you.
Very good improvement compared to your audition round. Very good content, clear, and good arguments. And by the way, they are your competitors, they're not your component, right? So when you use the word, be very careful. Component would be something that you have, they are against you. So be careful with certain words that you use. Very good presentation today.
Yeah, I think I also have to say that the words that you're using, please be very careful. For example, you said animal privacy. I think animal freedom would have been a better word. Okay, so please remember, you're trying to, tell something, but maybe you're using the word incorrectly. Okay, think about it.
Samiksha, yeah, it was good. I mean, you really had good arguments. So I really liked your presentation. Thank you.
Now I'd like to call Sophia Gautam on stage. She'll be speaking against the motion.
I am against this motion for one big reason. Wild animals are meant to be in the wild. They're not meant to be held captives in a zoo, which is not even their own natural habitat. Many people have argued before me that zoos are educational. They're not. An average person barely even spends a minute outside a cage. They learn barely nothing about the animal, and the signs barely only write the diets and the lifespan of the animals. Other than that, many zoos say that they are protecting and they're keeping the endangered animals for survival. but they're more interested in popular animals that draw a crowd. I went through the zoos of Nepal, and out of about 100 breeds, I only saw like 17 or 18 of them even mentioned endangered. So what is done to the other animals? Are they just kept for viewing? Are they just kept for recreation? Therefore, I would like to say that zoos are not educational, and therefore, they're not a good concept for seeing wild animals. Thank you.
Yes, Sophia, like it was really good presentation. You were very loud and clear, and like you had very good arguments. Particularly, I liked the one where you mentioned about like it's just mentioned diet in the zoo, which is something like I do agree, and you don't get much information. But on the same hand, like it is educational for people. I mean, like for children, especially when they go to zoo. So maybe like if you had brought it more stronger in that point, like it would be more convincing. But overall, I enjoyed the presentation.
Sophia, are you sure you're in class 7, 8, 9? Because the topic that you had given, the points that you have given was very good compared to the ones that I've seen today. Okay, so that's how a good debater is known. Okay, presentation fine. Okay, everything was good, and the best part that I really liked was the points that you gave and the way you explained them. It's not only giving points; it's explaining, which you did very well. Very good.
Sophia, very good presentation today. Much better than last time. This was the most difficult one. Because in other sections we got clear distinction. In your case, you're all like for 3 of you, 4 of you have the same marks. So it's very difficult. We had to rearrange. That basically means you are all good and you're at the same level. Let me ask a few of you to step forward. Samiksha, step forward. Vedanga, Amisha, Sophia, Prakriti, Polisma. So we'll be seeing you for the next round, and we had a hard time selecting with some of you because I think based on today's performance, couple of you got derailed. You know, you're very good. At least 4. We had a lot of confusion with 4 more of you, which basically means if you had done slightly better, you know, even the one who has made in, there's not a huge gap. So it was a very difficult competition, more for you more for the judge than for you. So next time, you know, prepare harder, and for those who couldn't make it, definitely try for the next year. You are all very good debaters. There's no doubt about that. Okay? Thank you.
With this, we've come to the end of today's competition round. If you're a student studying in between grade 7 and bachelor's level, you can participate in Nepal's Top 7 Debaters 2013. You can contact us at youthtya@gmail.com or call us at 425-7250 for details. Have a nice week. Namaste.